Pinko and the Weaver of the White Void? Peace had returned to Lumina Grove, and the air was thick with the scent of blooming starflowers and the hum of the great tuning fork. Pinko and Lyra spent their days exploring the rejuvenated forests, their colors more vibrant than ever. However, Pinko's horn began to emit a steady, pale glow that didn't match the forest's rainbow. It was a call, not of distress, but of invitation. Deep within the earth, a new vibration was stirring, one that felt like an unwritten song. At the summit of Prism Peak, the space above the tuning fork began to ripple. A shimmering tear, like a crack in a ceramic bowl, opened in the sky. It wasn't the dull gray of the hush. It was a blinding, pristine white. Pinko stood at the edge of the peak, the wind whipping his tri-colored fur. He felt a magnetic pull toward the rift, a sense that the harmony he had restored was only the beginning of a much larger symphony. From the rift descended a figure as tall and slender as a glass reed. This was Coda, the Weaver of the Void. Her body was sculpted from iridescent, translucent clay that shifted colors like oil on water. "The resonance you sparked has reached the unformed lands, Pinko," Coda said, her voice sounding like the chime of crystal bells. "But without a conductor, the raw energy is overflowing. The white void is beautiful, but it is empty. It needs a soul to give it shape." Pinko and Lyra stepped through the rift and found themselves in a world of absolute whiteness. It was a landscape of uncarved clay, smooth and endless like a fresh snowfall. There were no trees, no streams, and no shadows. Every step they took left a deep impression in the soft, white earth, but the footprints would slowly smooth themselves over. "It's like a blank canvas," Lyra whispered, her voice echoing strangely in the vast open space. As they ventured deeper, the void began to take its toll. The lack of external resonance started to drain Lyra's energy. Pinko watched in horror as the bright orange and gold of her clay fur began to fade, turning into the same featureless white as the ground beneath them. "I feel heavy," Lyra murmured, her movements becoming slow and stiff. The white void didn't just want to be shaped. It wanted to absorb everything into its own silence. Pinko realized that to save Lyra and the unformed lands, he couldn't just be a bridge, he had to be a creator. He closed his eyes and thought of the most complex melody he knew, the sound of a thunderstorm breaking over the grove. He channeled every ounce of his pink, blue, and purple essence into his horn. A violent burst of color erupted from him, acting like a paintbrush against the white world. He began to conduct the raw clay, molding it with the sheer force of his will. The void transformed into a prism sea, a realm where colors and shapes shifted in a constant, beautiful dance. Lyra's color returned, more radiant than ever, as she splashed through waves of liquid violet clay. Coda watched from above, satisfied that the balance between the formed and the unformed was held. Pinko and Lyra returned to their grove, knowing that whenever the world felt too quiet, they held the power to sculpt a new song.